Good evening and salutations, my young and restless fans. So we're going to start off with Ashleigh, the pathological liar, and Victoria. I do not understand what is so special about this woman. I really don't. You got Sally, by the way. I say by the way because I haven't watched the show in a while. And the last time I watched Lake Bold and Beautiful, I haven't watched it in a while. The last time I watched that show, she had dark hair and last time I watched her, she pretty much at that point lost her damn mind. Super obsessed with a guy named Wyatt. Did all sorts of crazy things just to be with him. I hope that woman had some therapy in that time period. But, yeah, I didn't recognize her. She had the red hair and everything like that. I don't know. I just didn't recognize her. Anyway, she is super obsessed with trying to get Victoria this dress because, well, Victoria wears it. Then they could sit there and make, cheaper versions of that dress and, well, pretty much have a bunch of people to buy it. Again, I don't really understand the appeal to this woman. I don't know if I ever will, but whatever. Anyway, she is in Tuscany. She's in Tuscany, and the woman's knit there showing her around, and of course she's saying thank you and everything like that. But the look on her face just looks like, thank you. This place looks so great. You did such a great job. I'm like, this chick not actually know how to invoke any sort of emotions. I mean, she's literally standing there the whole time, I think, with her arms folded. And I'm just like, yep, that's gratitude right there. She really means everything that she's saying. You can tell. Anyway, so she starts talking to Ashleigh. And Ashleigh does what he usually does. He just is incredibly vague. It's the only word I can sit there and describe. He gets to a point where Victoria asks him a question. Victoria's like, alright, we're here. This is after she's like, oh, I still love you and I still want to be with you. Oh, this guy been lying to you from day one and you still actually utter out those words that you love him and you want to be with him. Okay. So Victoria asked him, hey, we're here now. We flew all the way to Tuscany from Genoa City. We then flown halfway around the world practically so I can hear this secret. So what's the secret? What is it? And of course he gets into this long-winded speech that has nothing to do with the secret and is all like, well, before I sit there and tell you this, I just need you to understand that, then he starts bringing up the broken home and, running away and starting his business and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, there was one point where Victoria's like, oh, see, and that's part of the reason why I fell in love with you. Because we're both alike in that way. This chick is still uttering that he loves him. And then he's like, well, before I tell you this, you're really tired, and maybe you should, get some rest and have a couple of wines of glasses, a couple of glasses of wine. My goodness, just have some wine and relax and and we'll get started on this. Okay, so let me get this straight. This man, it's been a couple of days now. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, finally, we're gonna get to the secret. Is it bad? Should I get tissues? Like, what should I do? Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Okay. It's fading to black. Okay, we're not we're not gonna talk about it. Okay, all right, cool. I'm so glad that I got on this journey because I'm pretty sure it's gonna pay off eventually. Chloe, that's her name. Chloe, I don't remember her I don't remember her first name, but her last name, the actress that plays Chloe on here, last name is Hendrickson. Now, that wouldn't be like she wouldn't be related to Christina Hendricks, would she? That's the girl, the woman from Mad Men. Just wondering. Anyway, she's super obsessed with trying to get this woman distressed. And so they call up, they try to call her up, they get her assistant, and Eric tells her, hey, listen, she's already flown to Tuscany to get there early and just relax or whatever. And so Sally's like, well, where there's a will, there's a way. And we're going to make it work. Even if I got to go all the way out there. And of course, I was like, of course she's going to go out there. So she decides to bum a ride with Adam. I'm not going to lie, and I probably didn't toot my own horn, but I am so glad that I'm actually starting to remember these characters' names. Not just because, well, there's a lot of them, and, learning these characters' names isn't not always the easiest thing to do when you are dealing with 3 other soap operas, but, the hell was I going with this? Oh, it makes it a lot easier when I'm sitting there talking about this show. So, Adam agrees to take her. I guess they got history or whatever. Hope she wasn't as super obsessed with him as she was back in L.A. with the most boringest man on the entire planet, but that's another story for another day. So Adam has a couple of words with Billy about Ashleigh and, how she's tolerating me to go to the wedding. I don't understand Victoria. I don't know if this was, Victoria seems like she practically kicked her other brother out the wedding just for trying to help her. Just sit there and try to look out for her. So I'm sitting there wondering, what Adam did, was it super petty? Was it, what was it? Anyway, he's happy for his sister, and he's glad that Billy is not involved with his sister, and they're going back and forth about Ashleigh. And at the end, when he leaves, he talks to Victor. I gotta sit there and say, man, this guy must be getting paid so much money. I think he was on the episode for less than 10 minutes, and yet he still got a pretty nice check. Anyway, he talks to Victor, and he's like, Billy, he's still looking into this. And of course, he calls him Billy Boy. Oh, Billy Boy. So I'm like, I want to see some more I want to see some more scenes with Victor, because Victor, in a lot of ways, I'm so glad I'm doing all 4, even though they're coming out super late, reminds me of Steve Johnson from Days. The way they talk, their swagger, their persona, reminds me of a time that, Steve just has that laying on everything like that from the 80s and everything like that. And it seems like Victor, I guess there's just certain eras that stick with people, and Victor is like he's like a little time machine. Anyway, he pretty much asked Adam to help him. 1 second. He pretty much asked Adam to, help him with trying to stop Billy from interfering with the wedding, interfering with, Victoria and everything like that. And at first, Adam's like, I don't know, because I kind of just got in Victoria's good graces, and I don't really want to mess that up. So, I just don't want to do it. But, of course he starts talking about him, and, starts talking about Billy, and he's like, listen, you gotta sit there and do this. You gotta do this for your sister, you gotta do this for family, whatever. And so he convinces him to do it. And so Adam hires a private investigator. Pretty much he wants to sit there and be one step ahead of Billy as far as any information that Billy knows, or any future information they want to know first. This way they could sit there and try to stop him. Which, honestly, tell you the truth, I'm like, Victor, you do realize that Ashleigh, secret may actually be really bad, right? Like, he may be like, I don't know, he killed some people or whatever. You're still cool and comfortable with this man who has been a pathological liar to your daughter to say, yeah, no, you totally should marry him. I mean, is it about business? Is it about the merger? I mean, I really want to understand Victor's his motives of why he's so keen on helping out Ashleigh. I generally want to know why. I'm going to be honest, Mariah does not seem like she is all there. She really does not seem like she's all there. She goes to the coffee place and she talks to Sharon, getting these names, and Ray. Not gonna lie, I kind of had to cheat on that one because I actually went to Google to find out him. But she gets over there and she's all excited and she's all like, I want to apologize to Abby for, the way I left and just, me abruptly leaving so soon. And, Sharon's she's still a little worried and, Mariah's like, I'll be fine, don't worry about it, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling like my best self in a million years. And I'm like, when she started talking about how she was feeling like her best self or, she was doing a lot better, it reminds me about people. You can tell when something's really wrong when they're either overcompensating or they think they're on this really great high right before they start to crash. So the minute that she leaves, Ray's like, she seems like she's in a better place. And, who knows? She might be able to go around Dominic or whatever and Abby and be fine. And that's when Sharon's like, are you sure? Are you sure she's okay? And I'm not going to lie, I totally agree with that. Now, at some point, Tess does get there, and, Sharon's like, well, how is she doing? Like, is she good? Is she okay? Whatever. And Tess starts talking about the baby talk and how they tabled it and how they had a really great conversation, and they're on the same page, and man, were they so not on the same page. But that's what she told her. Now, Mariah goes to Abby's place. And Abby and Devin kind of like woke up and they, are kind of happy that Dominic is doing a little bit better. But Mariah shows up. Doesn't call or anything like that, just shows up. Because we all know how fun it is when people show up unannounced. So she shows up and you can just tell this awkward tension. Like first, she's greeted by Devin. And they talk about Dominic for a little bit. And, she's a little worried or whatever. She's, like, concerned. And she's like, oh, whatever. But then she walks over to Dominic. And you can see the look on Devin's face. Like, he is so not comfortable her being this close. Now, from what I understand from people in the comment sections, subscribers, and I want to thank you so much for the very helpful information because it is making it so much easier to review this show. She is a surrogate, and I feel like she's getting a little too attached. I'm not gonna sit there and try to debate the whole, because when you're a surrogate or whatever, things happen, feelings and everything like that, and you can sit there and tell yourself that it's just a job, you're just helping them out, but at the end of the day, we're human. She gave birth. And so there's going to be feelings. There's going to be a sense of connection, I guess. Anyway, you can sit there and tell that Devin is, he's not comfortable with that. And when Abby walks out, she's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And, Mariah does get a chance to apologize to her for leaving so soon and everything like that. And, just like, hey, listen, I'm sorry. And she's like, nah, it's cool, whatever. I got you back and all that good stuff. But then, the signs of this woman just not seem like she's all there. first, Abby talks about how she's gonna wean her off of breast milk because she's Cynthia talking about how they're going to Tuscany and everything like that, and you know, Mariah was like, you know, I got a bunch of formulas or whatever, and you know, like I got stuff saved, so you're good. And that's when Abby was like, you know, listen, we're gonna sit there and try to wean him off the breast milk or whatever, and get him on like formula and stuff, you know, whatever. And at first you could tell she's like kind of uncomfortable. She's like, I'm sorry, what? No, it's cool. I mean, you know, whatever. I get it, and yeah, that's cool, you know. So that happens, and then you know, I don't remember if she actually said that she wasn't gonna go to Tuscany or whatever. I don't think that she said that, but she was really unsure about going to Tuscany or going to Italy when she was at Abby's place. And when she got back and she started talking to Tess, I mean, it's like the glue just started to just... She talked about how she went to Abby's and was worried about Dominic and stuff like that. And this is when Tess was like, alright, listen, I think you need to kind of just step back and let them handle, you know, the baby and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that, you know, between those two, they got it covered. You're good. And that's when, you know, Mariah starts to unravel, whatever. She's all like, you know, this is why I want another baby. You know, the love and stuff like that. And you kind of just shut down the whole idea. And Tess was like, no, I didn't shut it down. I just tabled it so this way we could sit there and talk about this at a later time. And that's when Mariah was like, I don't think it's a good idea. And you just tell that she is just completely, honestly, tell you the truth, it's like that whole conversation before just went in one ear and out the other. And now she's just frustrated, and she's all like, you know, we can have a baby and stuff like that. And that's when she says that she's not going to Italy because, you know, she wants to make sure that she's there for Abby and the baby and stuff like that in case they need her. And I'm like, girl. I'm like, I'm partly trying to understand how they did not see this coming. I mean, has she always been like this? You know? Because the minute she said that she wasn't going to Italy because she wanted to be close to the baby and in case they needed her, in a lot of ways they look like they couldn't wait to get rid of her. I'm pretty sure whatever relationship that Tess and Mariah is going to have is going to be over. I give it maybe a month and a half. I give it a month and a half before Tess is just like, yo, listen, you need, like, therapy or something. Like, this whole thing isn't working. Because, once again, she was totally ignoring, Tess, her wishes about having a baby. And it's almost like it didn't die down. It just built it up. And, oh, this is where we are now. Now, Devin and Abby do want to call a pediatrician because, you know, apparently, like, he's not eating his bottle all the way. He's not, like, you know, eating as much, and it's a concern. So they want to call a pediatrician because at this point, it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh my goodness, just even thinking about that, like, every time the baby cries, you don't know what he or she wants, and well, my knee-jerk reaction would be like, alright, we gotta go to the hospital, we gotta sit there and find out what's going on. Like, my goodness. I don't know what to say about that. That just seems so nerve-wracking, you know? And so the parents that can just do it all the time, like, especially newborns, I give you my highest respect. I gotta sit there and say. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling like I forgot something. I don't know what that is. In a lot of ways, this show reminds me of General Hospital, and the fact that when you have like a lot of characters on screen, you always just feel like you're just missing one or two characters. Hell, I probably would have actually forgot about Victor if it wasn't for his constant comments about the "oh, Billy Boy is at it again." I would have really forgot about that. So like usual, if I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I just want to thank everyone for watching my Y&R reviews, because I know there's been times been coming out super late, and the numbers have been good for the most part, and just people who've been watching and commenting and stuff like that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I get to sit there and talk about this stuff, and I get to share my ideas and get to really talk and connect with people that love this show and just love talking about characters and stories and all this other stuff like that. So I just want to say thank you. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.